Hello, mindful friends. Today we're going to be talking about clearing space in the mind and allowing all of our busyness and the noise and the clutter to settle back down into our mental space so that we can come back to that nice, clear, open state of the mind. And this is so important because our natural state of the mind is like this clear blue sky, and it's open and it's spacious, and it gives you this clear perspective into what's happening in the present moment so that you can really be intentionally present with whoever you are with at the moment, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, your environment, yourself, or the task at hand. And you can be with that as your full self, as your whole self. And when our kind of minds and our spirits get really cluttered and really busy, and we have a million things going on at once, it's like those sparkles in the snow globe. Right? They come up into this mental space, into our clear space, and they start to clutter our view of things. And so now, instead of seeing the present moment, instead of seeing the person that you're with, you're seeing all of these distractions from thinking about yesterday, from what you're planning, from the conversation you had just a moment ago, things that you regret, things that you're hoping will occur. And what it does is it clutters up and takes up space in that clear perspective you could have of this present moment. So instead of seeing what is at hand with you right here and right now, you are seeing everything else that you're worried about. And maybe not entirely, right? It's like we have a divided attention. There's a piece of our mind devoted to what's happening right here, and there's a piece of our mind devoted to whatever else we're thinking about, all that noise in the mind. And when we're divided, we're not as intentional in what we're doing in this present moment. So there's a little bit of lack of intentionality, of presence, and it takes away from how we are handling this situation right here and right now. And so we can get into this cycle of feeling like we're really busy and we have a lot to think about and we have a lot to do. So we have to do a lot at once, and there has to be a lot going on in our mind. But what this does is it puts you into a stress state of overwhelm. You have too much going on and you're thinking about too much, and it deteriorates your ability to show up for each thing. So instead of making you more productive and able to get more done, it's actually taking away from your performance or your ability in each thing that you're doing. And then this can add even more stress because we're noticing we're a little more clumsy, we're forgetting things, we're losing things, we're misplacing things. We plan to do one thing and we forget, so we don't show up for people. And slowly it starts to accumulate more and more stress into our lives because now we haven't completed tasks intentionally. We are starting to forget what else is going on. And the importance of stillness is to settle all of this. So we need stillness to heal, to clear our mind space, and to be able to be really present for whatever we're doing in this moment without being distracted by those past experiences, the worries of the future. And to do this, you can do this while moving through life, but ideally in the beginning when we're learning, it does take stopping. So these are the intentional practices of a quiet yoga, doing meditation, doing slow walks, not fast walks where you're just trying to get your exercise in and you're just trying to get to the next thing, but slow walks where you're looking around, being in the present moment. Anything that brings all of your attention back into the here and the now, into this moment. So paying attention to the body in this moment, to all of your sense impressions in this moment. What are you smelling? What does it feel like to walk on the earth right now? What's in your hands? What are you seeing around you? What are you hearing? So everything in this present moment, and trying to let go of the noise. So in this moment, just let go of whatever else you're thinking about. You have nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. Let go of the worries. You can't solve them in this moment. And just give yourself that pause. And what that does is it calms down all of that turmoil up in the mind. So all of those things whirling around in the mind clouds your vision, clouds your perspective, keeps you from full presence. And when you calm down and you let all of those things settle, just let them, it's like the snow globe, let them float down to the bottom of the snow globe. And then clear that space. Open the mind so that you can start being really present with whomever, whatever, wherever you are in this moment. And then that brings intentionality back into what you're doing. And you'll notice that this also starts to bring efficiency. So if you're worried about stopping because you're like, I have too much to do, I just can't, I have too much going on. This shouldn't be your motivation, but you can remember that stillness that you bring into the mind and the body will help you to be more efficient in what you're doing. You'll forget less. You'll be less cluttered. You'll be more organized. You won't, trip and fall as much. You won't be as clumsy because your mind will be present here with what your body is doing, with what you are saying, with what you are seeing. And this helps you to engage with those things as your whole self, which you are a very capable person. You have all the skills. Sometimes we just get a little too divided and a little too overwhelmed to show up for ourselves for this present moment. So if you offer yourself that break to calm back down, to clear the space in your mind, you will notice that you can engage with life in a much more intentional way. And that this presence brings a peace into your being. And you actually become much more pleasant to be around and more efficient. And you engage with the things that you are doing as your true self and the authentic you, which leads to your end goal a lot better and a lot more peaceful. So I invite you this week to take some time to let all those thoughts clear, let the mind come back to its natural state, and just observe how it helps you to show up as the best version of you. If you enjoy these little talks and you would like to join our group sessions or individual coaching, you can visit us at newleafmindfulness.com.